So I've been debating whether or not to share this because it's one of those situations that still makes me cringe when I think about it. But I'm hoping sharing it will not only help me process everything, but maybe it can help someone else out there who might be in a similar situation. A little backstory. I, 29F, have a group of friends I've known since college. We all have very different lives now. Some of us are married, others are single, a few have kids, but we've stayed close over the years. For the sake of this post, let's call my best friend Maya, 28F. We've been inseparable for years, and I genuinely thought I knew her better than anyone else. Maya has always been the life of the party, super outgoing, and the kind of person everyone gravitates toward. She's also the type who tends to overshare, which sometimes gets her in trouble. She's had a history of, let's just say, questionable choices when it comes to dating. I'm not one to judge. Everyone has their own journey, right? So, when Maya started dating this guy, Jake, 30M, I thought it was just another short term fling. They met at a bar, and I had a weird vibe about him from the start. He wasn't rude or anything, but there was just something off about him. I can't even pinpoint it. It's like my gut was screaming, don't trust him. But Maya was head over heels for him, and I didn't want to come across as judgmental, so I kept my thoughts to myself. Big mistake. At first, everything seemed normal. He was charming, he'd come to hang out with our group of friends, and he was always polite. But there were subtle red flags. I started noticing how possessive Jake was over Maya. Little comments like, "Oh, you don't need to go out with them tonight. I'd rather spend time with you." Or, "Why are you texting her so much? Is she more important than me?" It started to get uncomfortable, and I started to feel like Maya was changing. She would cancel plans with us to hang out with him. She started dressing differently, and she'd often defend his behavior when we'd bring it up. At this point, I should have said something. I knew something wasn't right, but I didn't. I kept quiet, convinced that I didn't know the full story, that I should just trust her decisions because, hey, she's an adult. Maybe I was just being overprotective. Then came the day that really shook me. One of our friends, Lena, 27F, came over to my apartment to catch up. We had been texting, and she'd mentioned that she was worried about Maya, but I assumed it was just typical gossip. However, when we started talking about it, Lena told me that Maya had told her she was thinking about moving in with Jake, and that's when my stomach dropped. I don't know what it was about the timing or the way Lena said it, but something clicked. I realized how much I had ignored, how much I had been letting slide because I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. I finally decided to speak to Maya about my concerns, but I waited way too long. I should have spoken up months ago when I first felt that unease, but I didn't, and now I wasn't sure how to approach it. A few days later, I called Maya. We were sitting in a coffee shop, and I just blurted out that I was worried about her. I told her I'd been noticing how possessive Jake had been, how she was pulling away from the people who loved her, and that I didn't think he was the right guy for her. I didn't accuse him of anything malicious. I just expressed how her behavior had changed and how I felt like she was losing herself. She got really defensive, and honestly, I wasn't surprised. She started crying, saying that I didn't understand her relationship and that I was just trying to control her. She said that Jake made her happy and that I was being judgmental, not supportive. It hurt, but I tried to stay calm. I told her I would always be there for her, no matter what, but that I couldn't stand by and watch her get hurt. We didn't speak for a few weeks after that,